Hey guys, it's Emma and I'm back today for you guys with another video, and today we are talking about series that just can't seem to behave. Something I have learned in my years of reading is that very few series nowadays can actually satisfy me the whole way through. There are some series, like the series we're going to be talking about today in this video, that just either are too long, too short, or just had books that didn't make sense for the rest of the series, if you get what I mean. There will be minor spoilers, but I'll tell you when there are, just in case you want to mute that part. So with that being said, let's start the video. The first series that we're going to be talking about was actually in the thumbnail, and that is the Silverwing Trilogy. Really, to me, it's a duology. Here's a little thing you gotta know about me. Some series, if I just don't like the last book, I will just ignore its existence, and that's what I did with the Silverwing Trilogy. These two books were amazing. I loved the first book. I read it so long ago. It's one of the first books that actually got me into reading, and then Sunwing was an amazing sequel, and I thought they were great. And then Firewing came out. So I was looking at it on Amazon, I was looking through the reviews, and I accidentally spoiled myself. And I didn't like what I found. And this is a spoiler. I'm gonna put the picture of Firewing right up here, so if you don't want to get spoiled, just skip to whenever this is down, because then, I'll be done. But basically, Shade, the main character from, the whole series, Shade has a son named Griffin, and Griffin is spoiled, I guess. Griffin messes up, and Shade sacrifices himself for his son's miserable life, and the villain gets away. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Ridiculous. No. Okay, so that's why I don't acknowledge Firewing's existence. Firewing just went completely off the rails. I don't understand that. I didn't understand how we vanquished the two villains. I don't understand how we vanquished the villain in these two books, and then we finally finish the trilogy and he gets away. I don't understand.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch. I don't understand. I don't understand, bitch.
Basically, I got spoiled for the last book, didn't like what I found, and I just pretend that the Silverwing Trilogy is a duology. Thank you very much. The next series that we are talking about is one that is very, very near and dear to my heart. And like Silverwing, it was one of the first books that got me into reading. So it's a shame that I have to act like the last two books in a 6-book series don't exist. And that series is, ladies and gentlemen, the Pegasus Series by Kate O'Hearn. This bad-ass series. This was my Percy Jackson, okay? I finished the 4th book because the 4th book was amazing, and I bought the 5th and the 6th books. The last 2 books in the series, right? I finished the 5th book, and the ending just left me disappointed. Let's just say that something happens to where our main character, Emily, gets changed entirely. And I mean that in every sense of the word. You just changed your entire main character as a plot device. It was just such a jarring change, I guess, that I didn't feel the need to continue to the 6th book. I am content to say that this is a quartet, especially with the fact that this book ended with an epilogue, and none of the other 3 books ended with an epilogue. So, you know what? I'm taking that as my final cue. This series is a bit of an oddball in this video, because this series is one of the only series that I wished was longer. I'm saying series when really it's an umbrella term, but what I'm talking about is another one that was in the thumbnail, and this is the Sleeping Freshmen Never Lie duology by David Lubar. This duology was good at the time I read it, but what disappointed me was we got a book for freshman year and we got a book for sophomore year, but we don't get a book for junior year or senior year. To go through freshman, sophomore, and then junior and senior year and have a book for each. I don't know, I feel like it would have been a nice set. So just the fact that it didn't complete that, it leaves me very, very, very unsatisfied. So this is the duology that I actually wish was longer. And I just don't see why it can't behave to where it's not longer. The trilogy that was the bane of middle school Emma's existence, yet was the rising star of the YA dystopian genre. This is the last one in the thumbnail, and I think you all know what it is. The Matched Trilogy by Ali Condi. I honestly think this could have been a duology or at least one book. Matched didn't have to exist, and Reached didn't have to exist. I feel like Crossed could have been one big book. Crossed was the one book in this entire trilogy that had the most legible action. Reached had action, but it didn't make any sense. Crossed, I gave 3 stars. Reached and Matched both got 2. If she had to write Matched, then Matched and Crossed could have been a duology, but even then, Reached didn't have to exist. And it could have stayed like this, but even then, Matched was just boring, okay? Crossed could have been the entire trilogy, okay? So, the Matched trilogy honestly could have just been one book, and we would have been fine. The last series, or really the duology that we're going to be talking about, is one that I read in middle school with my mother. This one is kind of transparent in the booktube community. Like, I haven't seen anybody talk about this book, let alone this duology. But the last series that I think just could not behave was the Hatching Magic duology by Anne Downer. This book, not the second one, because we're not talking about the second one yet, okay? But the first book, Chef's Kiss, was amazing. One of the best middle grade books I've read ever, and that's saying something. The Hatching Magic duology, in my humble opinion, shouldn't have been a duology. It should have just been one book. The difference between this series and the Matched series is that, other than Crossed, the remaining books were just boring. On the other hand, Hatching Magic's sequel was weird. Hatching Magic, like I've said before, bunches of times, was amazing, but The Dragon of Never Was, which was its sequel, it made no sense. It kind of took canon facts from the first book and dismissed them, almost. It got to a point where some things were just, how is this possible in this book if you said in the first book it was impossible? So, if I'm going to be honest with you, the Hatching Magic duology is a standalone. Second book? Ooh. Y'all hear some? I don't know any second book to the Hatching Magic duology. I only know Hatching Magic. Sorry. So, those were all the series that I have read so far that just cannot behave. And I can give y'all examples of series that I think actually do behave. The Wings of Fire series, the Call duology, the Riders duology. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys are staying healthy and safe during the COVID-19 pandemic, and I hope that this could serve as some point of relaxation and maybe a little bit of humor. In fact, leave a comment down below on what series you think is either too long or too short. What series do you guys think just can't behave? On that note, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!